Hello and welcome to Perspectives, where we take a deep dive into the issues of the day and where we take a look at people's opinion on such issues. I am Ruth Osime. Welcome back to Perspectives here on Arise News. Today we kick off with a very bold claim. Doctors say men need sex 21 times a month to cut prostate cancer risk. Science also backs it up, saying regular sex boosts testosterone and well-being. Essentially, this means a woman should be having sex almost every day, except during menstruation, to help protect her partner's health. Some doctors have even suggested women should accept this reality and turn a blind eye if their man seeks sexual satisfaction elsewhere, if they cannot meet up with the required demand. After all, it should be a collective effort to prolong his life, not so? But here's the catch. What happens when medical advice clashes with marital reality? Many couples admit hitting that 21 times a month target is impossible. Between kids, careers, and stress, even 10 times a month feels like a stretch with their partners, especially after they've been together for decades. Men especially also argue that eating the same food every day gets boring. So seeking variety outside the home, they claim, spices things up, relieves sexual pressure on their wives, and even strengthens their marriages, allowing them to focus more on the deeper non-sexual bonds they have at home. Now, while most women would recoil at the idea of infidelity, whether discreet or not, surprisingly, some actually choose to remain blissfully ignorant as long as the illusion of fidelity remains intact. For them, the mantra is simple: see no evil, hear no evil, speak no evil. But frankly speaking, when a woman has become empowered, informed, and financially independent, isn't she less likely to tolerate what previous generations endured to stay in their marriages? And that's where the real emotional drama begins. Today we would explore the unfiltered reality of modern relationships, the compromises we make, and the emotional cost we bear in the dynamics of today's marriages. We're heading for a short break, but stay with us because coming up shortly is the meat of the conversation with my distinguished guests, Dr. Rashid Abbas, Blessing CEO, and Stephanie Kadri, aka Steph Red. Perspectives will return in just a moment. Welcome back to Perspectives here on Arise News. It's time to meet our lovely guests, starting with Dr. Rashid Abbasi, who trained at Yale in internal medicine and heart failure. He is the founder and CMO of Sisimi Medical Foundation. Dr. Abbasi teaches at the University of Maryland and has advised the Nigerian government on healthcare. Blessing Nkiruka Okoro, popularly known as Blessing CEO, also joins us. She's a certified relationship and mental health counselor. And we also have with us Stephanie Kadri, also known as Steph Red, a communication coach with more than 20 years of global experience. Known as the Genius Activator, Steph Red helps individuals and teams unlock their brilliance and inspires them to rise, adapt, and thrive. Such a delightful feeling to have all three of you here in Perspectives. Remember, I was telling you guys, please reserve your energy because this is a very hot topic. So let's start with you. You are the one that came up with this controversial men must ejaculate 21 times a month. And how realistic is this target? And how much pressure does it create in relationships?
No, excellent point, but I want us to not lose sight of the bigger picture. The bigger picture is prostate cancer.
Yes.
And so there's a theory physiologically called stagnation. The stagnation is any organ in your body that doesn't flush itself out has a likelihood of accumulating toxins. So it's not even just Dr. Abbasi. This was done by different research groups. And the particular study that I proposed out, which has been proven, was done by Harvard women. They looked at number of ejaculations. Mind you, men who may be listening to us now, if you wake up in the morning and you don't have an erection, there's something wrong. It doesn't mean you are dying. Every man is supposed to wake up with an erection.
Every morning.
Every morning. It has little to do with your age. When you were younger, you're full of testosterone. Women are full of estrogen. Our testosterone drives my erection. It drives my blood flow. So if I'm not getting that to the point of ejaculation, there is a theory that I'm just accumulating toxins. And so they looked at it. So for men who are able to ejaculate 5-7 times a month, their risk of prostate cancer is considered to be considerably high, 30%. If you're able to do it up to 18 to 21 times and above, that risk goes down. Now the question is, you are happily married. Your wife, the moment you have a child or two, you are no longer number one in that marriage. You are now number two because the women focuses on the kids, appropriately so. I'm not going to doubt that. That's what happens. So now the man doesn't get enough of that intimacy, that sexual thing going on, 5 days of menses goes to that woman. So we're left with 25 days. If it's February, you are left with 22, 23. And if you're able to get that ejaculation, they actually gave men the option. Either you do masturbation. Most religious groups will say no. The next thing is your woman to step up the game, but we know she has other priorities. And then the third one is outsource. Yes, we can call it side chick, we can call it the other woman, because we know that you want to keep that man to be alive. If not, he has an increased risk of cardiovascular as well as prostate problem. And that's not me, that's just the research.
So, Stephanie, let me ask you, I can see you breathing there. So do you think this is an excuse for men to be unfaithful? Has culture made it easier for men to cheat without consequence, considering what he has just said?
I believe there's an undertone to that, because yes, there's a research. The research was in 2004, based on my research, was in 2004 by the Journal of American Medical Association. And it did not prescribe. It actually said that men that were discovered, based on their research, to have sex up to 21 times had reduced risks, I beg your pardon, of getting prostate cancer, but it is not a prescription to say that those who do not have will have prostate cancer, because there are other things, there are other such things to look at as your lifestyle, health, what you eat, how sedentary or how active you are. There are other such things as genetics. There are other things like that. So also putting that in perspective, because we also have to be careful when putting out this narrative not to mislead those that do not probably go deeper to find out more knowledge and then just think that I have to have sex, of which is really not having sex, it's ejaculating. And yes, he rightly said, it's not necessarily having sex 21 times, it's about ejaculating 21 times. And ejaculation is not necessarily sex. So yes, he talked about masturbation, there's also nocturnal emissions, and then yes, sex as well. So how do we, of which one of the things I was asking is, if we're going to be, if it's almost like as when you talked about outsourcing, it's almost like as though that's the only thing the men have to do, like as though there's no other, there's no drive, there's no vision beyond just the sex, such that if you don't have the sex in those 21 emissions, it is going to cause you to die. It is not, that is an aspect that I believe still needs to be looked into, because there's a much deeper thing to consider, that we do not want people to begin to think that it is okay to be promiscuous, and then talking about, okay, outsourcing it. Why is that an option? To outsource it when you can actually have other, yes, masturbation is an option. If you are talking about masturbation, if it gets to the point of which the reason why ejaculation has to happen based on research is because you need to clear the prostate from accumulation of probable toxins that could have come from what you ate, how you didn't exercise or something. So why are we not talking about such things as not smoking, which could also lead to prostate cancer, a high reason? Why are we not talking about such things as alcohol, which is a significant reason why prostate cancer could also happen? Why are we not focusing on stopping those bad habits that cause the toxins?
Well, if those bad habits are stopped, well, that's
if those bad habits, if we focus on that, why are we not bringing out a research to say stop these, as against just saying have sex and outsource it?
Okay.
Let me ask.
He has spoken on the medical part. Let's speak on the logical part. Yes. I feel like I always say that, and I think that's the reason why I'm controversial. Women, we love to lie to ourselves. What he said is exactly the truth, but we live in denial. I've said it before. The problem is when we get married or we have somebody we love, we want to own them because we think that they are objects. But in reality, and I used to say, these people they call prostitutes, there's a reason why they are prostitutes. They have their own work and their job. He used a very nice word, outsource it, side chick, the Delilahs. No matter how I used to say something, the punishment for cheating is hiding. So long as you are not caught, it doesn't exist. But I can tell you that is the only alternative.
So you believe you believe that women accepting infidelity is like maturity? Let her finish.
She doesn't have to accept it, but it's an honest reality.
Okay, but she won't lose herself?
No, she won't. A lot of women know that their husband have different.
So you think most women actually tolerate it as long as they don't see, they don't hear, they don't.
Yes, Yes,
whatever.
people come for counseling and they say, so long as my husband doesn't bring another woman inside, I'm fine.
Saying, I beg your pardon, what you're saying is there is no man that can be single-eyed.
I can be what?
That can be single-eyed. That means there's no man
that can be faithful.
that can be faithful.
No,
because that is
not
the
saying that.
no, what I mean is that's a subconscious narrative that we are driving, that a man is naturally supposed to have an eye beyond just woman.
No,
so we need to give him room to expand.
That's not
No,
what
she
she
wants-
said.
that's
No,
not what
I
she
mean,
said.
I'm talking about, that's a subconscious undertone.
no,
Okay,
let her
clarify
clarify
that,
it.
please.
Okay, you said, does it mean that we don't have faithful men? And I made a very key point. We lie to ourselves. That thing you call,
lie?
that thing we call fidelity is the fact that a lot of men can keep it private. You don't know about it.
That's not true.
That's true.
That's the truth you have chosen to believe.
No. Then let
And
me
the
now-
fact that, you know, it's possible to hold on to something so strong and believe it. Because many times there are lies that we believe that have become our truth.
Yeah, but Stephanie, I beg to differ because the truth of the
okay,
matter
right,
is
I'm
that-
sorry. I wanted to give an example.
No, listen.
Right, for those in the religious sector.
Okay.
Do we mean that the priests who are sworn to celibacy are dying of prostate cancer?
Okay, doctor.
Because they're
answer
not
that.
having it 21 times a month.
Answer that, doctor.
So let's give you.
Or when they die, it is because of
If
prostate
you want
cancer.
to bring the priest, it's going to be very, it's going to be dramatic.
It's going to be more.
It's going to be very
You know why?
controversial.
You know why?
Okay.
That is
It's
that
a
is still,
controversial
no. That is
discussion already.
no. That is still a pretty close cult, because we've not been able to do not only
No, but
just
then
on
why are they
prostate.
not dying? If
Yeah,
that's
no.
the case.
Why are they also paying for all this child abuse?
Oh, then you're not. Are you going to say
No.
I mean, that's
no,
not
no,
enough.
you say that
I'm not
they
going
are
to give. No, I'm not going to give you.
Maybe one of them.
I'm not going to give you an
you have the
absolute
statistic
number.
to prove
Wait.
that?
Wait.
The Catholic Church are just settled excess of billions. Let's be realistic, madam. They've just settled. Why would they just settle? But let me go back to my own
But that's in
field.
the minority now. You can't
No,
use that
no,
as
no.
every single case.
Because they've not been caught, madam. They've not been caught. I'm being honest with you. So but let's face reality. Let me tell you why. One of the reasons I believe in the research. I'm a man. I'm driven by testosterone. You're a woman. You were driven by estrogen. Your estrogen started controlling you when you started your menses up to menopause. Research shows that if we can keep menses time to menopause time, if we can keep it short, not only will you live long, you're not going to die of breast cancer, you're not going to die of reproductive cancers. Go and check that. So if I can make the time you start your menses to the time of your menstruation stops, if I can make it short, you're going to live healthier and longer. But then what happens? Your body changes, your vagina gets dry. Sex is no longer as appealing as it used to be when you were a teenager in your 20s. Why am I still producing testosterone? Why do women have biological clock? This is the reason why not only do I support the 21 ejaculations, I also know physiologically, yes, it cannot be absolute, it's a bell curve. There will be some women in their 60s, 70s still sexually active. The majority of women devoid of estrogen cannot do the 21 ejaculations. That is why I said outsource, and outsource respectfully. Whatever the left hand does, don't let the right hand know. So you're not going to bring your side chick home or the other woman home. She's not going to call you because you still have to respect your woman. But let's look at the physiology. You're in your 50s, you're in your 60s, you don't have any more estrogen at that moment. One of the things that makes women enjoy sex is the lubrication that comes from their glands. That is driven by estrogen. We were replacing it in the US. We started giving estrogen replacement. Women went ballistic. Things were fine. Then we discovered side effects, cardiac issues, ovarian issues. So we stopped. The women are still allowed to get it. They just have to give us a waiver. So let's face reality. Men are wired biologically to be polygamous.
Okay, so are you saying that because you said something just now when you said that there are actually women who are still sexually active in their 50s and all of that,
Yes.
and then we don't also talk about the fact that there are a number of men who have erectile dysfunctions significantly.
Yes.
So if a man who has erectile dysfunction is still with a woman who has high libido, is it okay for her to outsource?
Okay, good.
That's a good question.
That's a fantastic question. So when men show love, we don't show love by sex. Let me say that again. When men show love, we don't do it by sex. A man that loves you will support you, will provide you, will protect for you. But when women start giving off their body, they develop emotions. So if she's willing to say, hey, because the man cannot get his journey up and she wants to go out, God bless her, but she's not coming back. Trust me. Whether she wants it or not, emotionally she's attached to that tall, dark, and handsome who is giving it to
Are you
her.
assuming that extramarital affair a married woman has, there must be love involved.
No, I'm not assuming that. But
There could also be financial rewards.
Yes, there could be other
financial
rewards.
benefits.
Yes, there could be other things there.
So she might still be in love with her husband at home, even though she's having an affair with the man
Absolutely.
outside.
So
Absolutely.
the man
Absolutely.
that is also going out, the man that is presently
Having other woman.
Outsourcing.
Yes.
Does he still love his wife, or he's just outsourcing?
No, absolutely, because men, sex to us does not equate love. So I can have sex with 3, 4 women. I don't even remember the name of the first one. But I
also
still
fall in love with the side chick now. Blessing.
No,
And it boils down to what he says. I think I like the fact that he's coming from the medical aspect, because most times when I talk about it, a lot of people pick offense. I'm going to say it in my own language. Men are physical beings. Women are emotional beings. He said something very important. A man can go out, outsource a prostitute, see a girl he likes. Remember, we all agree that a man just wants to ejaculate. He does not want to fall in love. He just wants to come and rest. But women, the moment we start to have extramarital affair, we are attached. We start to call. Women like to be babied. Women like attention. You see them begin to drift away. So I think I agree with him. And we're still arguing on the other woman, bringing the other woman. Some men actually have lived life. There are some men that in their 20s, they've dated different kind of girls, and you said something, okay, if he has prostate cancer, erectile dysfunction,
yes.
what can you do as a woman? There's so many ways you can satisfy a woman apart from your penis. There are other things that you can do as a woman. And remember, we said, the reason why these men are going out to outsource, apart from prostate cancer, is the fact that a time comes in your life as a woman where sex, women are very good with I'm not in the mood. When we are pregnant, when we are menstruating, when we are cranky, we take it out. Yes, we are stressed. You won't even be wet at that point. If your man even wants to come and touch you, pet body, because the kids are on your neck, everything's on your neck. So sometimes we always tell the men, just take her out on the vacation. What do you want the man to do at that point? I used to say, we women are too selfish. That's how I put it. And I would say, if you want to do what you want to do, don't just let your wife, you will give her that respect. And any girl you are meeting, she knows that the first thing you tell, I have a wife. Women now understand that I make you ejaculate, you give me money. I don't even want friendship with you. But the honest, that's the reason why.
But the men too also get attached now with this.
Very rare.
It's transactional.
Most of the time it's transactional. But they get carried away.
The way all of this is going,
Let's let Bessie finish. Let's let Bessie finish.
I had forgotten what I was saying.
You were saying it was transactional, which is where we came in. Sometimes it's not
okay,
so transactional.
the man just gets his ejaculation.
Or the
and
man
just,
might even get attached to the woman outside. It's
very
possible.
rare. He gets attached when, maybe apart from the fact that his wife is not giving him sex, she might not be giving him attention. Because there are some women that don't talk. He said something, that is where we have to be conscious. We take this emotion to our children, forgetting that your husband has a need. I have said it over and over again. Without side chicks, 90 to 95% of marriage will be damaged.
Hallelujah.
Side chicks save a lot. In fact, because your husband goes there to relieve stress, that's why he can come back to you. If there was no side chick, some men will divorce you instantly.
So that means the primary problem is not with the side chick saving, it's a breakdown of communication with yes. So why are we not focusing on teaching men and women how to communicate and build emotional rapport?
Communication is still that sex.
No, communication is sex. Sex is one of the forms of communication, but not all of it. Of which even in the process of because it's not just, oh, let us do. It is actually being able to talk through the process. Oh, what makes you happy? How do we do that? It's like, oh, for example, take Lagos. I once had this discussion with a sex therapist to say, in Lagos, for example, if you don't plan sex, you will almost not have it. Because it's either you are going out very early, you're stuck in traffic, you come back, you're tired. You have to be able to say, okay, sex has to happen. Guy, what time are you coming back? Okay, come on time, because so. Okay, prepare the mood. Okay, I am not going to. Women, because when we tend to take care of the children, do things and do work, we're tired, we just want to sleep. How do we say, okay, my man is coming, I need to get ready. I need to say, guys, please come back on time. I'm tired of, but we are going to, oh, I'm tired. Let us do it tomorrow morning. That is communication. So that is understanding each other's needs and being able to, so when we're not talking that out and we're just assuming, oh, she's tired, she's having a, of which we are masters in cold treatment. And then when we're either giving him the silent treatment or not saying anything, he's walking on eggshells. Maybe she don't vex me, I'm going to look at the person, right? So it now also comes to us trying to find out why there's a breakdown in communication, that I have to go outside of my home to speak to someone that makes me calm.
So, Madam Ruth, she spoke on two assumptions. The two assumptions, one of them is that it has to be monogamy. Monogamy is un-African. It was given to us. Your great-grandparents were not monogamous. My great-grandparents were not monogamous.
Doesn't mean that we will tolerate what our great-grandmothers tolerated.
It's not about tolerating. We should take the wisdom from it. Let me say that again. We should take the wisdom from it. They may not be as book smart as you and I are, but they were wise. Honestly.
Because you're saying they didn't go through their own emotional pain too.
Wait, we're going to go through there. So if I married her, we married when we were both teenagers. I'm jumping on her every moment I hear her voice, I see her partially naked. You think I'm going to do that 20 years from now? Hell no, I'm not going to do it. There is a concept in physiology called pheromones. The first time I saw her, as beautiful as she is, she may not be the most beautiful woman I saw that day, but our pheromones clicked. After 10, 20 years, and she's giving me 2, 3, 4 beautiful kids, the pheromones start on clicking. If I see her next time, it's going to click with her. It's not going to be with her. I still love her. That's my priority.
I've heard a lot of men.
That is it. So whatever I do with her, I'm going to keep it private out of respect for her.
Yes.
And me having sex with her doesn't mean I love her, but I'm going to provide for her. My little naira, I'm going to give it to her. My retirement package, she's going to have the password. She's not going to get that. Let's face reality. Men are driven by testosterone. If I don't get a way to get rid of my testosterone gets converted to DHT. This is where the enlargement comes from. DHT is dihydroxytestosterone. If the prostate doesn't use it, prostate swells. When it swells, my bladder cannot pee. Is she ready? Is she ready to start cleaning me up?
No, Dr. Wesley, you know this research. We're talking about this research earlier that it affects primarily men of African descent, and then the Caribbeans, and then just a percentage for Afro-Asian men. So
do well to follow for more update. Share, like, and save. Please make sure you are following me.